Let me tell you one thing. Prince Adeliba, Prince Pastor Adeliba, launched me into investment in South Africa. And what I do in South Africa today, I can't tell you all now. He's presently building for me a building. I say it's a building, it's quite a lot of development in South Africa. Before they left, I think they have reached the foundation level, which is level, and they still currently going on. So when I came in, I was listening to the issue of the concept of vision and ideas. But even before I came in, the first thing that came to my mind was when I was to enter the secondary school, we were taught economics. And in those days, you use Aromadaram. And I tell you, the factors of production are four: land, capital, entrepreneurship, and labor. And I always think of it that is not complete. You have to add vision and idea. Because you need to have vision to go into production, to go into business, and so on and so forth. Right from the beginning of, after my secondary school, I've had that vision. I was not going to be certain things. Not a pastor, not a teacher, not a civil servant, and so on. My vision was to be an ambassador. I didn't know how to think about it, but I did actually like to relate it, to have a relationship with ambassadors. Well, I was told to have it. My university education was sponsored by the business mogul, Chief E.O. Shamo, blessed memory, who sponsored my university education. So I went, as soon as I finished from University of Ibadan in 1971, to join his group as a sales representative. And all along I was actually studying because he had a variety of business. As managing to farming, agriculture, farming, shipping, you can name it, real estate, and so on and so forth. So I sojourned with him for almost 10 years, rising from a junior sales representative to the position of a managing director within 3 or 4 years. So it was 1977, I decided I was going to move on, and with some group of people we set up, just 3 people, 2 people, set up a Kakasa Nigerian company, which was actually incorporated in 1974. And we started as a trading company. That was a long story. We got into a lot of businesses and so on and so forth. But that company now has metamorphosed into a conglomerate in oil and gas industry. And you see, getting into that industry was something very funny, but I could write a book of that alone. But what I want to tell you is that it was an interesting journey. Because when you are talking, when you want to start business, everybody is always saying, I need money, I need money, I need money, I need to raise capital, and so on and so forth. We didn't raise any money when we were going into that particular industry. What we did, but we thought about what could be giving us money. And with the experience I acquired when I was with the Ashamu Group, I felt that there was a niche we could carve in just agency, representing companies. And all we need to do is to know companies that have interest in investing in Nigeria. So we were representing the fund in Oman, and we were getting commission. So, I mean, if you're able to get a business, they give you commission in dollars. And so I really need to go to the bank to actually borrow money. And that commission was coming in. As a matter of fact, it was coming in even before I left Chief Ashamu's group. The story of my leaving Chief Ashamo's group was because I've had a vision of actually staying there for quite a long time, and I was retired there, but something happened that actually pushed me to say yes, we could go into our own business. Oh, we started Kakasa, everything was doing well. We made some little money, and the idea of setting up a finance outfit came into my mind. A finance company, what actually drove us into that vision? We wanted to borrow money to import some pipes from Southwestern Pipe in America. I went to all the banks. It was difficult for us to raise the money. And they were saying we should bring 100% of the value of what we want to import. Finally, we got a friend at Icon, Mr. Fashional said, okay, well, we open the LC for you, bring 10%. That was a very serious something there. We tried. We raised 10% and we imported the shuttle cases for oil exploration. And when we got that, some money came in. And I said, we went through raising that capital. I said, we must actually start a small finance company. It was in the days of Forum that finance companies were actually making money. And I said, okay, well, let's try. We'll do a feasibility study for a finance company and so on and so forth. And we took it to a friend at Merchant Bank on the Obieri. And he said, well, why finance bank? Or why finance company? Then we could try a Merchant Bank. I said, name from Oyo, finance, a Merchant Bank. He said, no, it's possible. So I talked to some friends, and we put the money together to pay for the capital. And then we wrote the feasibility study. Eventually, we got licensed starting of February 1988 for Intercontinental Bank PLC. As a commercial bank. We started as a merchant bank, and then we decided that we should go into retail banking too. So after some few years, we ventured into it. We got the license for the commercial banking. And before the bubble burst, before the bank was actually sold, in quotes, I would say stolen, from all by Asset Bank, the rest is history. So before it was actually stolen, you can quote me anywhere I've read it. Because eventually, you see this man you see standing before you, we languished for 3 weeks in prison when they actually came to arrest the founding fathers of Intercontinental Bank. I was the first to be arrested. We were holding a meeting of one of the subsidiaries of Intercontinental Bank. By the time we finished the meeting at about 6 o'clock, they said we couldn't go home. What's the problem? A vehicle was waiting for us, so all of us were hounded into the van. We were taken to Awolowo Road. They laid us there for almost 3 hours. By the time we finished, they said we couldn't go home. And so we were taken to Kotiebo, the prison there. We were there for almost 3 weeks. Long story short, I was singing with the Yahoo boys. And they wake up in the morning at 6 o'clock, they got to see 4 of us were handed into one room. No door, no window. If you are going there, you are there. So we weathered it anyway. Eventually, the bank was sold for 50 billion, a bank that was worth several billions. Because at that time, we had about 480 branches all over the place. All over the place. It was a very successful bank. The asset owner bought the bank, paid about 50, they owed us about 18 billion at that time, which the today has been swept under the carpet. We don't hear anything again. We got out of it and we moved on. And then Kakasa was still there because we allowed the two people that joined us to continue to run the bank, Bola and Obieri. And we were still running our company and we were getting more and more successful. That's Kakasa. To the extent that we were part of the establishment of the startup of Port Harcourt Refinery, Warri Refinery, and Kaduna Refinery. Long story again. So at the time I decided that okay, I should hand over as the chief executive of Kakasa to a colleague. We started another company, Caron Group of Companies, security, blah, 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 farming, investment, name it. So we are into that as of today. Along the line too, bought a property at Ejigo. We were to put in an hotel there. I saw people ferrying their children from Ejigo across to the other side of the town for very good schools. I told my wife, I said, look, you see a lot of people coming, taking their children out of Ejigo to this other side. Why don't we use the place for a school? So we started at primary school, got the company registered, incorporated, Ronic International Limited. We started with the Northern Primary School, very successful. And then I found out that in the evening, the classrooms were empty. So I said, look, my wife, I said, let's start a small secretarial study. And so on and so we got for desktop, had somebody working with Chevron. I'm taking a lot of your time. Okay. Then we bought the four desktop, so we started using the facility for training in computer. I was one of the 4 students. The other three were with ladies. And from that, we moved to the secondary school. I followed Ronic in the comprehensive school. Also a very successful story. And then thereafter, the secretarial school, which was the computer something, we started to fiddle with the idea of a polytechnic, which we got also incorporated. And then as a private polytechnic. And we got accredited for so many programs, some of which we have yet to start, and so on and so forth. Now the idea has been mooted now that Ronic Polytechnic will metamorphose into Ronic University. This one starting with you is about 82. So, and let me tell you, it's the grace of God. It's the grace of God. With people that are standing by, supporting us with prayers. So we are still standing here. Amen. How many of my age can still stand? So I give glory to God. I will not finish. As soon as I leave there, I'm going for EDM meeting, which I share. That of Kakasa is a general meeting. So starting about 2 o'clock. The journey has been long but interesting. I want to thank God that we have been very successful. Other areas are so complex. But my interest has been in real estate very much. Both locally, international, and so on and so forth. So I think I can leave it there. Thank you very much.